Hey, was admin going down? Look to the word, look to the word. Hey, what's happening, little Jay? Run a little late. Hey, what's happening, little Jay? Hey, what's up? Ciao. They got see. Ah man. Ciao. Buddy. Get up there. Get up there. Well, it's game time. Let's go. Bird. Hey, salute. Yeah, it's just showcasing you don't have to have a gym membership. You don't have to have a gym membership. You don't have to put out a bill or anything. You ain't gotta pay anybody. You just gotta create that friction, man. Create that friction. It's all about that. Got Mike and got show. You know, do little consistency. You know, the board is tough. The board is tough. You know, if you don't need a gym, then you don't need a gym for the membership. Kettlebell, one kettlebell can be it. That's all you need. You know, uh, you don't have that. What else? You know, you ain't into that. You're okay. There's so much stuff you can do. So, might not be able to work it out. It's like playing games. So, handball, pickleball, you know, basketball. Yeah, man. David Bryan. David Bryan. Oh, oh, yeah. Lord, Lord. Wait, be great. Let's be great. Great for opportunity. Most of us open our eyes. Just open your eyes. In the AM, more opportunity than others. Oh, God. Go. Ain't no growth without put yourself in an uncomfortable position. Understand? Ain't no growth without pain. You gotta be patient. Yeah. Turkey. got Mikey, I got my show. Hey, I got Mikey, I got my show, I got the show. I got Mikey, I got my show, I got the show. We're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking finger and say, that's the bad guy. Oh, what I'm making good? Not good. You just know how to hide. Wow. Me, I don't have that fun. Me, I always tell it. Even when I lie. Say good night to the bad guy. Hold on. Last time you're gonna see a bad guy like this. Go to the morning PT Warriors. One day at a time. One rep at a time. One set at a time. You know? Only thing you trying to do is get through with the task at hand. Sometimes you got to break it down to its smallest decimal. Sometimes you ain't got to look at the bigger picture. Sometimes you got to look at the small stuff, you know? Sometimes you can't see the bigger picture because you in it, you know? You can't see that bigger picture because you inside that big picture, you know? Sometimes you got to slowly take steps back so you can enjoy the view. That makes sense because, like, we'll sit up there and look at the bigger picture, like instant self gratification. You know, that's for a lot of it, the bigger picture. But when you think about it, like that bigger picture might be what's holding you back. because you get so discouraged about not being able to get that instant gratification from chasing that bigger picture. Sometimes that bigger picture becomes something that seems so far, like the moon is to the earth, right? So sometimes you got to take a step back, take very small steps, and don't look at the bigger picture. Just look at your next step, your next rep, and your next set. Not about necessarily forgetting about tomorrow. It's about focusing not even on today. It's about focusing on right now in this moment. And let everything else fade away. You understand? Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. In the process of you just put one foot in front of the other. Instead of focusing on, I'll give you an example. Let's just say you were doing 10 push-ups, right? Instead of focusing on the number 10, focus on the number 1. Then when you're done with focusing on 1, all you're doing is focusing on getting through 2. You're not even thinking about the number 10, the initial end result. Hour and 30 minutes of burpees, man. The initial end result. You know? It's too loud, nigga, to myself. The loudest one in the room. Like, look, straight down, get it on, man. But yeah, nah, man, sometimes we sit up there and we looking at the big picture. And social media has got us brainwashed, man. And the narrative through the push has got us brainwashed, thinking the instant gratification is what it is. They think the instant gratification is what it is. Man, all you got to do, put in the work. In a world full of folks that look for the shortcut. In a world full of folks that look for the shortcut. Heal and will. Discipline and consistency. Man, that's the difference maker. That's the difference maker. Sometimes I don't know about tomorrow. Hell, sometimes I don't even know about today. But I know I have a routine. I know when I get done with this, I gotta go move on to that. We all want that instant gratification, or at least have the narrative that feel pressed. If fake it until you make it was the ticket being sold today, Man, oh wait, that's the going rate. Right now, pay to your baby. That's what what it really is. You see so many folks looking to receive that instant gratification without the work, without putting in the work. Our mind is trained to be thinking about instant gratification. All right, so we on to an hour and 30 minutes of birthdays. It's gonna be a birthday day today, boy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. 20 seconds till the game time. But yeah, man. So look, it's the real deal, man. Folks, we look around and see somebody else or something. Hey, what you going up? Oh, what's happening, folks? Hey, yeah, get some sleep. Get some sleep. The game time. Yeah, man, we be looking for that instant gratification. And when we look around, especially on social media, we have a thing of thinking that everybody got this and everybody got that. It's an illusion. It's an illusion, right? You can have it all. You just got to put in the right work. See, when I was growing up, it wasn't a thing of everybody gets to play and everybody gets a trophy. When I grew up, it wasn't like that. And I didn't understand, but I do now, the effects of everybody gets a trophy. Everybody's a winner. Everybody needs to have a chance to play. See, when that mentality is pressed on us growing up as kids, we don't understand what it means to actually put in the work. We think just because you show up, you are deserving. You think just because you show up, you deserve it. You think just because you show up, there's supposed to be a spot for you. You're supposed to have some playing time. And when the game's over, win, lose, or draw, we're all winners. No, no, it doesn't work like that. It just does. See, I know I sound like a, broken record. You know what I'm saying? I know that's what I'm sounding like, but you still have to understand this. Sister Soldier said, the greatest man after God, the greatest man after God is the storyteller. He has the power to persuade kings, presidents, emperors, thieves, CEOs, and so on and so forth. The storyteller, right? And then you start doing these folks around here, man, especially on social media. It's a narrative being pushed from the common folk to the elites to the governments. So you see folks showcasing highlights, airing out dirty lines, self gratification, instant self gratification, right? You know it's bad when the shorts got short as far as these video clips. I remember when there were no cell phones, as far as everybody having them and them being on the level that they are on now. People would actually watch movies. It's just still and watch a movie. Attention span so short. The learning curve. The learning curve. Mastery is a thing of the past. Mastery is a thing of the past. They say you got to put in 30,000 hours. 30,000 hours. People, the shorts got shorts. The shorts got shorts. Hello. You got to put in 30,000 hours, they say, to be a master. And most of us can't even sit still for 10 seconds. See, the power becomes when you understand that it all becomes from your work. You understand? From your consistency. Yeah. From your discipline. That's a foreign language, right? That's a foreign language. Yeah. Let me tell you something. So I'm sure all y'all at some point in time heard of David God, right? And I know y'all know, or if you didn't, David Goggins broke the pull-up record. He broke the Guinness World Record for pull-ups, right? So by putting in the work, right? He saw a challenge, he went at it. Now look, nobody thought, hey, I want to go set the pull-up record. David Goggins did, right? So as soon as David Goggins set the pull-up record, within that year, somebody had broke it. Somebody had broke his pull-up record, right? Why? Why did it take him that long to attempt to break a pull-up record? Huh? See? And then when that gentleman who was from Texas, from Houston, Texas, who broke David Goggins' pull-up record. 3 months after that, a guy from Russia broke his pull-up record. Right? 3 months later, a guy from Russia broke the dude from Texas pull-up record who broke David Goggins' record. See, there's a lot of lessons in that, and I'm not done. So, David Goggins set the pull-up record. Nobody else was thinking about breaking the pull-up record. David Goggins is making noise. People are starting to hear who he is. They see that he broke a pull-up record, right? Now all of a sudden, got somebody who wanna beat that. And within that year, somebody had beat David Goggins' pull-up record. Okay. Now, and 3 months after that, a dude broke his pull-up record. Nobody was even thinking about it. Nobody was even thinking about it, right? I'm saying all that to say this. Like, anything can be accomplished if you have the patience, you have the discipline to sit still, and the consistency to finish the job. Finish what you started. Right? So, before David Goggins did it, probably people was thinking, wasn't even thinking about it, wasn't on their mind. Because I know if you say, hey, at some point in time, to some people, when you say 1,000 this, 1,000 push-ups, 1,000 whatever, in their mind they thinking can't be done. But it's a multitude of people that do it on a regular basis, correct? It's a multitude of people that do it on a regular basis. So David Goggins breaks the pull-up record. All he did was stay disciplined, consistent, and showed up. And it wasn't done until it was finished. It wasn't finished until it was done. Right? That's the formula, right? So it doesn't make him more harder than somebody else. It makes him, that's his superpower. Listen, sentence. And if he can do it, somebody else saw him do it and was like, man, you know what? I hold my beer. I can do the same thing. So after he did it, which broke David Goggins' record, which was the dude from Houston, I think he was, I might not be mistaken. I read the article on him. He might have been an ex-Marine. I'm not sure. But anyway, so he broke the pull-up record from David Goggins. Then 3 months later, a dude from Russia breaks his pull-up record. So the numbers keep going up. Meaning people are outdoing the next person. Now hold up, it gets better. It gets better. So yesterday, last night, as of 10 p.m., a 22-year-old just set the Guinness World Record for pull-ups, which set the bar even higher right? So these are so many lessons that I'm about to break down for you. First one is you versus you. These are the reasons why I say, hey, don't compare yourself to somebody else as far as your capabilities and what you can do. If you focus on you, it's no telling what your heights may be. Now, if from the 22-year-old who just broke the Guinness World Record yesterday for pull-ups, if he was like focused on David Goggins and not focused on the last person who broke the Guinness World Record, or focused on what he can do with himself, do you think once he hit David Goggins' number, he would have felt like he hit his ceiling? He can do it. But David Goggins is down here as compared to where the pull-up record is currently. We limit ourselves by trying to keep up with somebody else. We limit ourselves by trying to look at somebody else instead of taking the time, sit still, and focusing on self. Understand? You get caught up looking at all these cars and this luxury life living and the whole nine, and then you want it right now. You want that instant gratification. Instant. Huh? Come on, let's keep it real. Keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Right? But see, the ones that do are the true giants. The ones that have consistency. The ones that are persistent. Those are the true giants. Then you have the little birds that try to ride on the shoulders of giants. Your superpower is home in the repetitive process. You just can't sit around here and just be so attention span so short that you can't focus on self. So that's one lesson out of the matter. You understand? Because if you was focused on guidance and his pull-up record, you would have limited yourself. You would have limited yourself to that. But currently, it's 4 people now that have broken the record. The David Goggins. And that's not to take anything away from David Goggins, because I look up to David Goggins. Big time to look. Choose to do. You know what I'm saying? But he came, he saw, he conquered, and he moved on to the next thing. So that's the lesson. Sometimes people get caught up and just be so stuck in their accomplishments that that's the mountaintop. And they lose the tools that got them up there to begin with. Process. Continuing to keep their routine of growth and sometimes we got to challenge ourselves and put ourselves in these uncomfortable positions. 'Cause I don't know any kind of positive growth. It doesn't happen with being in an uncomfortable state. I don't know any kind of positive growth that it doesn't cause any kind of strain, even if it's slight pain. That's the growth. When you work out and your muscles break down and they sore, that's growth. That's growth. See, it's a narrative being present. It's a formula being drawn up. And what it is your attention span. And your attention. When's the last physical book you read? You had a patience to sit still and read the book. It ain't about the time. It's about the meditation. It's more than just the education. It's more than just the education. And you sit still and pick up a physical book and read 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Huh? Or do you want somebody to read it to you? Your attention span. Do you want AI to break it down for you? If you ain't got time. Huh? Do you want AI to break down a workout and diet for you? Huh? Listen, we make life simple. Life is simple. Life is simple. You don't need a gym membership to get in shape. You don't need a trainer. You don't need a dietitian. You need to sit still and do your own due diligence and learn your body. My bad. I'm telling you what you need. Excuse me. I'm out of line for that. I'm out of line. That's, I'm getting a little carried away. It's back to the mission at hand, man. Yeah, back to the mission at hand, man. Yeah, yeah, I'm told off that I am. But true story. True story. Most of us don't have 15 seconds of patience. Hey, what's happening, bro? Good morning, man. Glad to hear, man. Man, we okay. We moving, man. Moving and grooving. Yeah. It's a blessing to be alive today, man. It's a blessing to be on this side of the earth and not the other. And that's progress. You know? Yeah. That's progress. But it means everything. And you gain your superpowers. And you understand the powers within you. You know what I'm saying, Jedi? You know what I'm saying, Jedi? Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got the power. You know what I'm saying? He-Man. If you an 80s baby. Yeah. And that's the thing, man. Like, as long as your attention span is cut short, as long as you can never focus on self, because you can tell me about the entertainment beat, the, the drama and so on and so forth and everything. All this extra stuff that's going on. That's your attention span. And back to the narrative of the story. The storyteller. And you can tell who winning, who winning. Look at the conversations that we having amongst our personal groups. When you look at social media, if people know your search site, the direction you go, even if you ain't going in that direction, you're gonna see a whole bunch of arguments, a whole bunch of disputes, a whole bunch of this and that. And it's the narrative being pressed. I remember my older brother, I'm West Indian, right? So my older brother, he was riding in the car. And my older brother straight from the aisle. Straight from the aisle. You know what I'm saying? And heavy accent and I'm jamming my hardcore gangster stuff. This is when I was younger, in my 20s, early 20s. And we had been on the road. We driving over the road. We've been on the road for a minute. My brother was like, man, can we listen to something else? This is making me angry. Like, it's getting you know what I'm saying? Like, the music gets you, it's to get you, you know what I'm saying? It gets you in the mood. And he was like, me as a youngster, man, I ain't trying, but we changed it, but at the same time, and it changed the mood. It changed the mood, and I wasn't thinking about it then, but when you start reflecting on things as you get older, you start to see these type of things. You understand? You start to see them. So we changed the music. And we was listening to some, the reggae. You know what I'm saying? And some soca music. Some soca. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the move thing. You are what you eat. You know what I'm saying? The whispers, the voices, the things that you make. Your brother was like, take the weed and you know what? Take the weed and need the money. Take the Nah, but for real though, it changed the mood. Changed the mood. We are what we eat. The music you listen to, the conversations we had, the circles we choose to involve ourselves with. You know what I'm saying? It rolls over. It rolls over. And I'm gonna keep saying this. You have to be the narrator of your own story. You gotta be the narrator of your own story. Social media, these groups, your attention span is writing that story. It's writing it. Most people can tell me more about what's going on in the entertainment world. You know what I'm saying? In the growth process that they have in their work. I was within you. You got the power. You the sleeping giant. You know what I'm saying? True story. But But you don't realize it lies in you. Yeah. Yes. Big facts. Big facts. True story, man. Like, and that's the thing. And I'm glad you brought that up because I'm a sports fanatic, or used to be. I'm a I'm a has been. I'm a has been. I did everything except for bet because I was a real just sports fanatic. I was just a real sports fanatic. But my team or teams would take L's a lot. Take L's a lot. And I started weighing out a lot of things. I got all this attire. I'm wasting all this money on this sports program. Support them. They support me. Matter of fact, I'm wasting 12 hours on Sundays because it's an all day thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm wasting all the time. Don't get it twisted. I'm not knocking anybody who's that's their relief. But for me, I had to back away from it because I can do more with that time. I can do more with that time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can do more with that time and all the little, the little rumors and all that extra stuff that be going on about uh, you know, throwing games and whatever. But ultimately, I got more done stepping away from it. How many arguments I've been in, how many, behind sports. But I mean, honest, true story. I yeah, they was ruined. And then it would be times like this. I might be like, I'm going to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch my team. But I'm going there so I can watch everything. Now I done spent all this money on wings, sitting there watching my team, and I don't bet, but I might do a friendly bet with one of my homeboys just for fun, right? Lose that money, paying for the wings, and my team lost. So I'm paying to watch my team lose while I just bought all this attire and the whole. I'm like, man, bro. Yeah, it's crazy. So it just, financially, stress wise, only one of the things it just didn't make sense. But I can do more with that time as far as focusing on myself, getting things done. And it's just what matters to you more. Like I know my little brother right now, diehard sports fan. Can't tell him nothing. I ain't got nothing to say to him about it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's your thing. No, not to it. But it's for those who are looking at other ways and the whole nine, man, like it's only 24 hours in a day. Man, I wish it was 25. And that probably still wouldn't be enough. 25. It wouldn't be enough. Yeah, hey, Mike, what's happening, bro? It's going through the motion, man. Going through the motion. But like I said, man, so back to the whole product situation, you know. And that's why I always say, man, hey, first thing, this is the first thing. Find what you like to do and do that the most. And as far as, working out, going through the process, find what you like to do that the most. Because you don't know what your limitations are. You don't know what your ceiling is. You don't have a ceiling. If you find what you really good at or you really thoroughly enjoy, that you can hone yourself in and be completely consistent, you don't know what your ceiling is, right? Because, like I say, man, it's daily guidance at the boulevard. That's the boulevard. Within a year, somebody else broke his pull-up record. 3 months later, somebody else broke that pull-up record. And as of yesterday, somebody broke the pull-up record again, right? So the dude from yesterday was focused on being David Goggins' record. He wouldn't have been able to set the record that he set yesterday. But see, we still have that little kid syndrome to seeing somebody else and wanting what they got or wanting to take what they have without putting in the work, right? You know? And that's just what it is. We'll see somebody else in tip-top shape. I'm talking about chopped up. I'm talking about chopped up. And in our mind, first thing is coming an excuse. That's not real. Thank you. Or you see somebody who has the house, has the cars, and so on and so forth, and they quiet, whatever the case may be. But you see it, like, sure. You thinking they just had a silver spoon in their mouth the whole time, right? See, we can paint pictures and make illusions all we want to. But when we start focusing on ourselves, you'll understand you can still be dying. Imagine you sitting up there wasted 2 years chasing after something that somebody else had, and you're not willing to really put in the work. And it takes you 2 years to realize, oh damn, I really don't want this. I'm really not about this life. Because we'll spend time trying to be like somebody else, catch up to somebody else, beat somebody else, and what they're doing. So the dude who broke the pull-up record yesterday, wasn't even focused on that guy. Him and his homeboy would work out, and he said he could smash his homeboy. Hey, how you doing? He said he can smash his homeboy in every other variation that they did except for pull-ups. And his homeboy would drive him. You know what I'm saying? Talk big trash, you know, the whole nine. So that was his driving force. That was his driving force to up his pull-ups. It wasn't David Goggins. Message. You see what I'm saying? We sit up here and we create all these false enemies. They fake. We create these illusions in our mind that this is the enemy or this is the challenge. Most of us ain't even about that life. Most of us going the wrong way, the long way. Find what you like to do and do that the most. What's the best exercise for you? the one that you love doing the most, even if it's not the most beneficial, it's the gate. It's the gateway. It's the gateway to better things. Why would you like doing do that the most? Be good at it. Do your due diligence. How many of us truly, sincerely know our body? You know what I'm saying? Like, but we can tell, me everything about what's going on in social media, such and so forth. You know, things are real, man. Yeah, man. So at the end of the day, when we take time to focus on ourselves, we'll understand how great you can be. If somebody was trying to compare themselves to me, they might be limiting themselves. They might be limiting themselves, their greatness, by comparing themselves to me, by trying to keep up to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we'll see somebody else and we'll walk what they had. No different than a whole bunch of toddlers playing around, doing their own thing, playing with each other. And then they see one kid over there with a toy that they never seen before, and now everybody wants that toy. To the point that everybody is arguing and fighting over that toy. It's the same syndrome as adults. It's the same syndrome as adults. Men fighting over one woman. Most of them fighting over one woman. So, I mean, you name it. You know what I'm saying? Youngsters seeing a car that they want. So they decide to try to steal it. Instant gratification. Instant gratification without the work. Without the work. Without the work. This ain't everything. The thing is, everybody gets a trophy. Everybody's a winner. If you show up, you're a winner too. No, it doesn't work like that. And now you can see the repercussions of that whole era of everybody gets in trouble. We think that things are deserving. We think that we deserve everybody wants the shortcut. Nobody wants to put in the work. Nobody wants to put in the work. Everybody wants to ride on the shoulder of a giant. You know what I'm saying? And claim the spoils. But nobody wants to sit there and sit still. Nobody's going to talk about the strain, the struggle of trying or attempting and failing over and over again. Nobody's going to talk about that. Nobody's going to hang in there to feel that attention span so short. If you can't get it within this amount of time, then it ain't meant to be. On to the next. Trend after trend. Sin after sin. I'm trying to say, man, look. You are what you eat. You are what you eat, man. True story. But nonetheless, You can take that time. Be selfish. Starting with at least 1 hour a day. Focus on growth. And growth is gonna come. Growth can be painful and strange. But your growth is self-educated. So it's not working out. Say your growth might be having to sit still and pick up a physical book and sit down. Breaking that cycle of short attention span. Most of us can't even, most of us conversation is explaining what somebody else said. Most of our so-called knowledge is off of what somebody else said. If he say, she say, lead the way, you sure as hell don't know about yourself. What time we spend? Hold on, man. See, this is one thing I can say about the human body as we get older. People might stay the same. You might mentally, emotionally, maturity, you might stay the same. This is one thing that is going to happen. Your body is going to change. This is a fact. Your body is going to change. The weight of your brain is going to change. You understand? They say you get shorter as you get older. They say you get shorter as you get older. The things that you ate in your teens and your 20s, you're not going to be able to eat in your 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s. If you're blessed to see that. If you're blessed to see that. That's the truth. So, if you don't know your body now, how you gonna know it as you get old? If you don't understand the genetics, how your body works now, how you gonna understand it when you get old? Because your body is gonna consistently change. We ain't got to argue about that. I let life and reality check in on that one. You know what I'm saying? Just keep on living. Keep on living. You understand? So, how many of them get school? You pay. Learn 30 hours. 30,000. 30,000 hours. They say that's mastery. That's mastery. 30,000 hours. Attention span is less than 10 seconds. Woo! You know what I'm saying? Attention span is less than less than 10 seconds for 30,000 hours. Man. And when you think about 30,000 hours, you think about the big picture. Remember what I was saying? That big picture. You think about that big picture. And I said at the beginning, one day at a time. One day at a time. One step at a time. One rep at a time. One set at a time. You understand? One page at a time. One word. One word at a time. Read. See, if you were to pick up a book, and it was a 1,000-page book, and you were to look at the end of the book and be like, hey, it's 1,000 pages. I ain't ever gonna finish this book, right? I ain't ever gonna finish this book. Versus you saying, hey, I'm just gonna read 30 pages a day. I mean, 20 pages a day or 30 minutes a day. You're not looking at the end. You might get into that book and start getting carried away. The 30 minutes might turn into an hour, and so on and so forth. But you chipping at that tree. We'll sit up there and have a whole tree, big old oak tree to chop at. And our attention span is supposed to be in one spot. We're supposed to be chopping in one spot. One spot. But I think it's all over the place. You chopping over here. You chopping down there. You chopping over there. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's happening? That tree ain't coming down. That tree ain't coming down. You understand? But if you would focus, you can take it, you can focus on that one project. I don't care how big that over 3 years. I don't care how big the tree is. I don't care how wide that tree is. 6 feet wide as a house. That bad boy eventually coming down. It's eventually coming down. But if you look at that tree like it's a 1,000-page book, you look at the big picture, you're chopping all over the place. You're gonna get distracted. That axe gonna end up being on the ground. You understand? You're gonna start looking other places, finding excuse. You gonna find an excuse. So if the guy who did the pool person last night made the guy a big picture. You see what I'm getting at? You see what I'm going with this? It's so many levels. People learn. When we take a step back, you just pay attention. These are jewels that have been made before you. All you gotta do is just look. You understand? So, first thing, start breaking it down. So break it all together and make sense. We have these big goals in life. These so-called dreams and accomplishments and so on and so forth that you want to achieve. And you see the full picture. But you're not willing to put in the work. 30,000 hours. Put in your mask. 30,000. Hit your fan 10 seconds. What's your narrative? Who's writing your narrative? Who's speaking your story? Huh? See, we run from the man in the mirror. You gonna run from the man in the mirror. I know it's like the thing here, when you get lost in the process, the jewels the lessons, the gains that you obtain is far greater than the end result. It's far greater than the end result. The person you become, learning yourself, doing your due diligence, putting in the work. That's the prize. But when you want that instant gratification, you don't want to put in the work. Want that. Riding on the shoulders of giants. That's what separates the average from the above average. The good from the above average. The great from the good. And the phenomenal from the great. That's the separation. And it all starts with a mentality. It all starts with you saying, hey, I'm controlling the world. Million excuses as to why you came versus as to why you came. We'll come up with a million assumptions as to why he does and you don't. We'll come up with a million assumptions of why he does and you don't. Why he has and you haven't. So check this out. Will he be a topic of conversation and you never saw him or her in your life? It wouldn't even be a want of yours. We just like them kids, them toddlers that see that one kid with a new toy and everybody want that toy willing to fight over. Y'all was playing just fine, doing your own thing until you saw something you didn't have. Then you wanted it right then and there. But you didn't want to put in that work. You didn't want to put in the work. Yeah, I'm saying everybody think that these things happen overnight. Sometimes you see people have success, but you just seeing their success. You're just witnessing the ass end of it. Then all of a sudden these things we must be every loan must be paid. Now, some people put in the work. Some people put in the work. That whole everybody gets patrol. If you show up, you sign up, you're a winner too. That's the case. That's the case. Everybody who walked through the door of the gym, everybody who walked through the door with water membership will have everything that they wanted. If that's the case, then all you gotta do is pay for a personal trainer and you're good. No, you still gotta put in the work. I don't care how much finances you got when it comes to this physical. I don't care what kind of equipment you have, what pills you have. You gotta put in the work. Instant gratification can be the devil. That's the devil. You understand? Get lost in the process. Get lost in the process. Sometimes instead of looking at all the words on the page, looking at the page from afar, you can't even look at the whole paragraph. You can't even pay attention to the sentence. You can't even pay attention to the word. You got to break it down letter for letter. If that's the case, and your vision is that short, that's what it has to be. But at the same time, we'll sit up there and get distracted. You feel a little bit of pain. You feel a little pain. It hurt too much. Pain is growth, son. Pain is growth. Pain is growth, bro. Pain is growth, sis. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is, man. I ain't write the rules. I ain't write the rules for this. You know, life is so simple. We're gonna make it. We're gonna find a way. We'll find a way to make it more complex than what it is. We'll find a way to create some kind of beef out of nothing. We'll find a way to look other ways than ourselves. We'll find a way. All these things are built to look everywhere except right here at yourself. That's why I say, man, start your day with being selfish. Not the whole day. Not the whole day. I'm just saying, start your day with being selfish. Because most of us are spending the entire day, your entire day, doing for others, working for others, job, doing all types of things, and say we're going to invest in ourselves, but we never had the time to. Start your day off being selfish. Me. I'm focusing on me. And that selfishness might mean you have to wake up an hour early. You might have to wake up an hour early. If you have to wake up an hour early, here comes discipline. Here comes consistency. And here comes sacrifice. You know the things that you really don't, that you run from. We all do. Where does the consistency, or where does the discipline come from? First of all, you got to get your butt up an hour early so you can be selfish. You got to get your butt up an hour early so you can be selfish. Or go to sleep an hour, like whatever it is. That time frame. I say in the morning because I don't know, I'm a morning person. Like, whatever. But you need that. So if you wake up an hour early, there comes the discipline. Not only do you have to wake up an hour early, that affects the way the rest of your day goes and how you go to sleep. Oh man, yeah. It rolls over to just an hour early. Because now you gotta have some type of form of prep at night. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how it's supposed to be now, and like every day go through that day. But like if you can get up an hour early and be selfish, sincerely selfish. I'm talking about me. You're gonna have to go, the rest of your day gonna have to have some type of format. You have to go to bed early. You have to have some things made out. You have to, whatever the case may be. Just from getting up an hour early. Oh damn, that's called structure. Oh man, we started to structure our life just a little bit, doing some stuff against the grain. That's the pain. That's the strain. It's not all physical as far as that's concerned. It's not all physical. That's what you think when I say pain, strain, and as far as growth. creating an uncomfortable state. You understand? Now, when you wake up an hour early to be selfish, if working out is your thing, or that's how you want to start it, then that's how you want to start it. If self-education was your thing, then that's how you want to start it. Get up an hour early, you're going to do the self-education thing, get you some coffee, whatever your wake up is. Get your wake up, might be tea, might be water, might be, a smoothie, whatever. And then crack that book open, shut the world off, study. You know what I'm saying? Read, sit still, be selfish for that hour. Because when that day gets to going, life gets delightful. You got to be at work at a certain time. You might be running behind minutes. This broke down. That needs to be fixed. This and so forth. Kids is, running late. Life. You might not have that time. You might have planned on having that hour during your lunch. But work carried over. Or the evening came around and you distracted. Whatever the case may be. These are things that we have on a regular basis that distract us, and we don't have time for ourselves. You don't have time to focus on yourself. And I told the narrative, the main part of the game is making sure that you can't focus on yourself. If I can keep you distracted, I'll win. If I can keep you distracted from yourself, I'll win. If I can keep your wants and needs always where I want them to be. If I can keep your wants and needs always where I want them to be, you can't focus on yourself. If you are tech head, you gotta have new phones. You can't focus on yourself because I'm about to drop a new phone on you. You better do all the research on the new phone, focus on it, everything that's happening with it, all this stuff. You tell me about everything about the phone inside and out. You know what I'm saying? The upgrades and this and this and this and that. Why you need to get this new phone? Listen. All of that. But you can't tell me about yourself. I told you, as we get older, your body is going to change. That's something you can't change. We ain't even got to argue about that. They say people say the same, people change, whatever. That's up for debate to whoever. But your body itself, believe that, it's changing. And most of us don't even know our body now. Most of us don't even know the capability of what we can do now. So take that out. Take it at bare minimum an hour if you can. Even if you got to break down in 10 minutes, you got to start with 10 minutes and grow it out. Yeah. But at the same time, you got to take that time to be selfish because there ain't no growth. If you really can't hone in and focus, that hour might not even be for self-education or working out or anything like that. It might be for organization. You might take that hour just to truly, sincerely get your thoughts down for the day, correct what you need to make, have all these things. If that's what it is that's promoting progress and that's focusing on self to get yourself step by step, that's what you need to have. But sincerely, ask yourself, how much time do you spend being selfish, focusing on yourself and growth? I'm not talking about you being alone with your phones, you being alone with the TV. I'm talking about you sincerely working on you. I'm not talking about you watching some documentary. I'm not talking about you listening to some audio book while you do this and that. I'm not talking about that. And let me tell you something. Okay, I'll put it like this. I'm gonna say this before I go in on it. I'm gonna say this before I go in. My personal problem. My personal problem. So hey, it is what it is. Well, check this out. Don't tell me, do not tell me you read a book and it's an audio book. Don't tell me you studying or you studied a book and it was an audio book. I don't want to hear nothing about people learn different ways. I don't want to hear none of that. That's not studying. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Studying is different. Studying is different. You know, I have nothing against audio books, but you can't tell me you reading a book and it's an audio book. That's not reading. Can't say that one to me. But anyway, I tell you, and I don't care. I don't care what kind of learning disability that you have. Sitting still and focusing as far as reading or whatnot. I don't care if you do a word backwards or whatever. I don't care if you gotta, if it takes you 30 minutes to read one page, one side of a page, while it takes somebody else 2 minutes. If you gotta read that page 3, 4, 5 times, that's growth. That's growth. See, we run into these challenges. And then we try to come up with an excuse because looking around, you see his progress. You see him moving faster than you move. Sometimes you got to work harder than the next person. But like I say, that attention span, that little tour, seeing somebody else do something with ease and you can't. You're not built the same. We're just not built the same. That doesn't mean that the work can't get done. Is it for you? Is it for you, first of all? And if it's a task that needs to be done, you might have to work 10 times harder than the next man. You might have to work 10 times harder than the next man. But you show with that friend elbow, I show up, I need to get in trouble. It shouldn't be so hard. Everybody else is running circles, and I can't do it to do that, so on and so forth. We all not feel the same. You know what I'm saying? We just not. There's plenty of things that I have to work 20 times as hard just to be normal with it. Just to be normal with it. You know? It's real. It's real. But the reason I say sleep with giants, sleep with the giants, wake with the monsters, eat with the lions, is because you want to see the giant, man. Yeah, man. And that's what it both happens. That's what it both happens. And it comes with practice. It comes with practice. And I'm trying to trick folks into seeing the power in themselves. And that's why I say you can take an hour to be selfish and work on self. That's why I can't tell you what it is that you need to work on. But it needs to be on self. We think that having some time to ourselves is and just being able to chill and relax is being self. No, that's not the selfish of working on yourself. Like we can have a whole day of just chilling, relaxing, watching TV and playing games or floating through the net or whatever the case may be. That's not the selfish time I'm talking about. I'm talking about selfish time when you hone in on focusing on self and working on self. You know? And I'm saying, like, man, if you try this out, get you a book. And when you get this book, make sure it's a book of growth. Something to grow. Anything that interests you. Anything that interests you. Yeah. Yep. That's it, bro. Yep. Because at the end of the day, hey, bro, at the end of the day, when it's time to bet on you, you won't be able to bet on you. I can bet on me. I got my help. I know I can get it done. Yeah, man. But whatever the process is that you need to do to sincerely focus on you, like that's what it is. And by the time you realize that if I take this time and I focus on myself for an hour, like, oh, that's what I was about to say. I lost train of thought, man. Going on. Yes. Hey, so try this. Get you a book, an educational book, something of some kind of benefit. I'll put it like this. Whatever the book may be, keep it as a story book. Long as the motto is this. Not beneficial, it's artificial. Keep that in mind when you get the book. I'll break this down to you for a minute too. But anyway, when you get this book, it can be 1,000-page book, 300-page book, 100-page book. But try to generally get you a thick book and be like, okay, I'm just going to read 5 pages a day. That's it. 5 pages a day. And you want to think about it like this. If you're not an avid reader, reading one book in a year is leaps and bounds. Leaps and bounds. You just murdered the game if you do one book in a year and you haven't read a book in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. You just murdered the game. Progress. Don't look at the big picture. But it's one step at a time. Do that. The discipline that it will take you, especially if you're not a reader, especially if you have a problem with your attention span. Those 5 pages are going to take something out of you. It's going to hurt. 5 pages. But it's going to be a lot. You're going to have to take time to sit still, black everything out, learn and focus, concentrate. These are all baby steps. Baby steps. But if we're looking at the big picture, that's like, hey, you got to read this book. Hey, go read this book. The first thing you know. Yeah, all right. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to make more sense. It's going to be so much more beneficial to a person who does not read on a regular basis and has a short attention span. Because you're doing so much with creating one routine. You create a state of meditation. You create a state of learning to reprogram yourself to block everything else. You can focus on the words that's in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Most of us can't even, like I say, most of us can't watch a movie without having a phone in our hand. Most of us, if you got time to watch, If you got time. Most of the cases still and paying people to a ceremony, any type of deal, without most of us came to wake up in the morning without checking our social media first. All of that needs to be set aside if you're gonna be selfish. All of that needs to be set aside if you're gonna be selfish. Point blank. Point blank. So if you're not an avid reader, if you don't read books, if that stuff sounds like schoolwork to you, if y'all need a list of books, I got a whole bunch of good books that you can get into if somebody wanted a suggestion of a book, especially if you wanted some type of entertainment with education. But if you pass that, you can get into books like Robert Greene and so on. I got still those type of books outside of Robert Greene, even for some education and stuff. But when it comes to reading books, you have to go for what really sincerely interests you. First, go for that first. See, that's the reason why I say I can't tell you what exercises benefit you the most because you gotta like what you're doing first. I mean, you don't have to like it, but your chances of success in staying with it are sky high versus you 80. So starting off, whatever exercise you enjoy the most, do that the most. Whatever direction you want to go in, if you try to slowly start building that patience and discipline and all and reading and everything, get a book that you like, something you're interested in. But keep the motto, if it's not beneficial, it's artificial. You know what I'm saying? But that is beneficial, it's artificial. But salute to the work. Salute to the work, man. Day to day. One day at a time. You know what I'm saying? One step at a time. One rep at a time. One set at a time. And like and if you go measure yourself from who you were yesterday. Don't compare yourself to the next person. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. See, you can do that, and you'll become the best person to you. That's the best person to him. I'm hurt. You know, true story, man. All I got to say is if that kid that said that pull-up record last night didn't have a challenge of him versus him, because he pretty much said that himself. He didn't have that challenge of him versus him. And he was focused on David Goggins. You know how short he would have cut himself? He would have never hit the world record. Because as soon as he got to what David Goggins did, he'd have been like, I did 5 more than David Goggins, 100 more, whatever. I'm good. But little did he know, or little would he have known, that you son, you would have been up here and David Goggins down here on the pull-ups. Oh, I do gotta say this though. So here comes the hate. And it's not from me. It's not from me. It's just me pointing it out. So David Goggins set the pull-up record. There was a whole bunch of people in the comments saying those aren't real pull-ups. I agree. But never once in my mind, in my heart, never once in my mind did I sit there and look at him accomplishing that record and say, those are real pull-ups. Never once did I sit up there and just, that was the first thing that I did was look at the negativity in it. Never once. I'm talking about I never even thought about it, his form, until, like as far as like in detail, until I saw the comments of them hating on the kids today. Or, the little story. So now they were more so kind of like health-ish pull-ups, give or take, whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't give a damn. It's impressive to me. It's impressive. Wouldn't give a damn. Is that something that I would do? No. Wouldn't do it like that. Do I have hate towards it, or am I not? Hell no. Because I know the work that was put in and the whole nine. But it's just funny to me how the first thing that jumps in the mind is hate or the what do you call it? That give credit to, never once did I look at David Goggins pull up form and be like, oh man, it's never been a thing of mine. And I'm not trust. I'm not a fan of jerking on the bar. I'm not a fan of swinging on, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a nerd. The Kelton, all of that. Like, man, you keep that. But it's not for me. It's not for me. If that's your cup of tea, your cup of tea. If you get the results that you want from doing that, then you get the results from doing that. I can't be worried about that self, but I'll focus on self. Understand? The only thing I got from both of them was the inspiration, the motivation, the drive. That's what I took from both of them. I didn't, and that shows you people's mentality when they see certain things. Now, mind you, I know for a fact I wouldn't count them in my world as far as this. But Guinness World Record did good enough for me. That's good enough for me. Yeah, it's good enough for me. And the work is put there. It is what it is, man. If I felt something obligated or something, then that would be my next mission. I gotta go prove them wrong. I'm not willing to put in the work, so I'm gonna shut up. Take that motivation, that inspiration, and the whole nine. But when the first thing that you do when you see somebody else accomplish something of great feat, and the first thing you're doing is looking for the fault in it, I don't know what to say to that. Because that's a whole mentality thing. It's not, it has nothing to do with anything else. That's a mentality thing. Do I have dreams and aspirations of being in the Guinness World Record? Absolutely not. So, you know what I'm saying? And most of the folks that sit up there on the sideline and do all that stuff, man, I remember when Canelo lost that fight against what's his name, Crawford. People talk so bad about Canelo and so on and so forth. And I'm thinking like, Like Canelo a champion. And I wanted Crawford to win. I wanted Crawford to win. But, like, I don't know, man. It is what it is, man. You in the spotlight, you into this thing. You are the people's entertainment. You are the top of the conversation. So it is what it is, man. But I don't know, man. I've never been that type of guy or type of person to go that route. As far as trying to, you know what I'm saying? Look at somebody else and be on that hate negativity or whatnot. Shoot, that's it. It's an hour and 29 minutes, 30 seconds of burpees. I'll cut it 30 seconds short. Sue me. Yeah, I'll cut it 30 seconds short, man. Because I'm past my time. Past my time, man. He's over here running my mouth. God, dog, I be talking too much. I know y'all be like, God, dog, that boy shut up. Maybe one of these days, man. One of these days, I'm running my damn mouth, man. But yeah, salute to the work, man. Salute to the Born PT Warriors, man. The struggle is real, man. Just know when the times get tough and you're pushing through it, that's where your real growth is happening. That's where your real growth is happening. Everything else is damn near cruise control. Even when you mashing the gas, you getting that growth. But the growth is happening when all that stuff, when it's hard to get up, when you're struggling to get from point A to point B. The growth doesn't always have to be physical. It doesn't always have to be physical. It doesn't always have to necessarily be mental. It could be spiritual. Like growth puts you in an uncomfortable state. It just does. You know, it does. Learning a new math formula. It's not, it just doesn't, you might struggle with it, but once you understand it and what you had to go through to understand it, the problems you had to work out, the whole nine, that's growth. Being uncomfortable, and we run from it. And they taking our attention span. Your attention span is your power. That is your power. That is where all your power lies. And you can't pay attention to yourself and be, be all over the place. Social media will take that from you. The narrative is the narrative. Be the narrative of your own life, man. Stop letting these storytellers steer and misdirect you. Keep you in a state of confusion, But hey man, I got nothing but love for y'all, man. I get I gotta order some new mics. My other mics messed up. So until then, man, gonna be funny time with the tunes. Funny time with the tunes, man. Salute to the work. Got nothing but love for everybody, man. Sleep with the giants, wake with the monsters, and eat with the lions. You are the master of your fate and the captain of your soul. Captain of your fate and the master of your soul. As usual. I'll be back in here tomorrow like I left my wallet and keys. Be back in here tomorrow like I left my wallet and keys. Hey, man. But other than that, man, man, y'all go out there and go conquer the rest of the day. Take that time and out of your daily do 7 days a week. 7 days a week, and find some time to be selfish for growth. Find some time to be selfish for growth. Period. Somebody to PBK. PBK said, period. Yeah. Hey, and I'm out. Peace.
Not fairy tales, show good, standing tall. You, boy, you build brittle. We build different. We run dogs, we don't run mouth, boy, we build different. You bark loud, but you are